to Just Bricks, brought to you by Kick It Forward and Sporting News Australia. Got a very big interview today, guys, with Gary Payton, the Hall of Famer from the NBA. Happened to be an Australian. It's been organised. That's coming up later in the program. But let's get to some basketball. You guys excited?
Well, I'm excited for that interview. You and celebs these days.
I'm just
hanging
like
out.
wall-to-wall paparazzi nowadays.
God, I can't wait.
Speaking of paparazzi, the NBL Grand Final Game 5 was on the weekend. I believe it was yesterday, actually. The Jack Jumpers claimed their first ever... They won the championship. It was unbelievable.
Oi.
I got to say, it was honestly the best series I can remember. Obviously, recency bias. But it was just a really enjoyable series against, like, the most powerful team in the competition, the most dominant team for the whole year. Melbourne United with, like, guys like Dellavedova, Harry. Against the Jack Jumpers, this upstart with a bunch of ragtag mob that really came together and won it.
The fresh air in Tasmania. What's it doing to the basketball?
Oh my
That was
God.
all like full 5-game series, all really close games, incredible buzzer beater.
Oh, the buzzer beater, Game 3 buzzer beater from
Jack
McVeigh.
McVeigh, he won the finals MVP. Or
Yeah.
Was it just it was the whole finals MVP, right?
Yeah, he played amazingly throughout the whole series. He gained more and more momentum and sort of did whatever they needed over that series.
Is he a chance to
maybe
don
a
an
chance.
NBA
I don't know
jersey?
about a chance.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Check your pants.
I don't know if he go to the UK, but he could definitely go to the US. No, he might. I don't know. He's probably the only slight on him would be his athleticism. But you see other guys, maybe he'd be similar to like maybe Joe Ingles. But even Joe Ingles was such an elite
like catch and
three-point
shoot.
shooter. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's a different player, but works into the key that way. That's definitely someone to look out for. But yeah, it was really exciting. Another guy, this guy called Will Magnay, which we'll get to later in the program for our chicken treat hot take segment. You excited for that?
Yes.
Yum.
Yes. Couple of things, G, and you're a big fantasy guy. Luka Doncic, he's now eligible for the $346 million max contract in 2025. $346 million max contract.
That's
US.
a lot of money.
Wait. Per year?
No. Like that's the total, but it's the maximum currently with their rights deal.
If you're wondering how many hours of unlimited play that gets him at Time Zone, which I'm sure you are, it's 9,900,000 hours at Time Zone with that contract.
Wow.
You got it at Time Zone.
You're a virgin, hey?
Yeah. At Time Zone, G, did you you went recently, hey?
Yeah.
So what we used to do is get someone to distract the staff member and then just bump the coin machine so the little coins fall down.
No, they're all set with alarms now. So this technology gone too far.
But $346 million US, like, I know, let's round up and
It's
say
insane.
600 million Australian. That's so many AFL teams. That's like all the AFL teams times 3 or something.
One person.
Love the analogy.
Well, we're about $10 million a salary cap, right? Oh, so it's way more than that.
Someone will pay it, though.
And
Like
it's one person.
Yeah.
Doncic is 25. He's putting up the most absurd numbers a 25-year-old has ever put up.
Do you watch much Doncic?
Yes.
Yeah.
He just, it's like the circus shot he made today, like at the buzzer beater under the arm. He's insane.
Yeah, he's pretty amazing. It's crazy how he can just get a bucket by himself so easily. And with Kyrie Irving playing so well as well. Another weird one with an Australian player is Ben Simmons. Shaq came out this week and just basically... He clearly doesn't like Ben Simmons. Like, this is a guy, Shaq, who...
Not many do in the US, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, when we met a bunch in Philadelphia, far out, like, every Eagles fan, because they love all the local teams, that was the one thing we asked, like, what do you think of Ben Simmons? And they would go from really smiling, speaking to Australian, like, to kind of being, like, showing us around.
Speak that name around.
Yeah, to pulling a gun. No.
Yeah.
Grrr, no, they were like, I'm so angry about Ben
A
Simmons.
couple people left the conversation because they thought we were like
was
making fun of them, which we kind of were, but like not in a bad way. But so Shaq came out and was just sort of pointing out the facts for how much he's played.
Who are the NBA players that you would legitimately buy a ticket for to go watch because you find them entertaining?
Ben Simmons, because I would want to learn how you can make $80 million and play 55 games. Teach me how you can play 55 games in 3 seasons and we get 30 million, 40 million, and get another 40 million just by saying your back hurt. Get some icy hot, man up.
Moving right along. You said,
Amen, Shaq.
Out.
Brother.
Whoa, way to get us cancelled.
Part of me feels bad for Ben Simmons. Like, there is clearly something wrong with his back.
What makes you feel bad for him when he just sleeps on that 120 million every night?
I get that, but like he obviously he's not an idiot. Like he wants to play. I do.
but we've
There's
actually-
an element of sympathy, like
Yeah, okay.
disregarding the amount of money he's making.
If you had to sleep on that much money, would you keep them in like bricks and bills, or you'd scrunch them up a bit and
You'd
make
have
it
to
soft?
scrunch
You'd
them
make
up,
like a good
yeah.
foot of like soft stuff.
They'd rot
yeah.
though. They'd rot after a while, so you'd have to keep changing it. That's why
Not
you got
maybe
120.
not Aussie
Yeah.
money, maybe US money.
Oh, the Aussie money would be terrible. For
Oh,
you back.
it's-
You could
Oh,
start
it's
you could
scratchy.
start a fire with that US currency stuff though and keep warm.
Yeah, I think that'd be illegal though. You can't.
Since
burn
when
one.
do you care about illegal
Yeah.
things?
Seriously. NCAA currently underway. The March Madness underway. The Elite Eight going. Unfortunately, Tyrese Proctor, Australia's remaining representative in the men's draw, knocked out. He had 0 points, unfortunately, against NC State. There was a bit of an upset in that one.
A lot of letters being thrown around there.
Well, the guy from Sydney is knocked out.
I know what that means. Cool.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But one of the biggest takeaways from the week everyone's been getting around, it's become sort of I guess, a bit of a meme, is Robbie Avila. Now, Harry, I want you to look at this guy here. What, do you think he looks like a basketball player? Robbie Avila. And go straight to Google Images.
Robbie This looks like the guy on Dodgeball that wears the goggles.
It looks like you've
In the
made him on
movie
NBA
Dodgeball.
on 2K.
Yeah, exactly. It looks like he's been made on 2K. Even his tattoos are pretty average. He's getting sort of worldwide notoriety now because he's actually very, very good. He averaged 17.3 points per game by the end of the season. He's in his second year. A big jump this year. He shoots threes. He's about 39% from deep. And he's 6'10". So like, even though he actually is way taller than you think he is. But he's attracting a shitload of nicknames because US basketball loves making nicknames, and US sports in general. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Larry Nerd, College Jokic, Larry Blurred.
Oh, because you got glasses.
Milk Chamberlain, Steph Blurry. They go on and on and on. But he's getting a goggle endorsement, rather.
Shigoggle O'Neal.
Did you make that up?
No, I was like this hell famous person said it. I reckon that's going to stick.
That's a good one.
Shaquille Glasses Neal.
Oh, no, you've lost it.
Oh, I hate you.
Damn it. Hey, Check doesn't have like special, I don't know, like data being fed into his goggles.
Oh, that's a good point.
Oh, my God. What if he was getting Google goggles? Oh, that'd be
Googles.
annoying. That'd be an annoying endorsement. Oh, no, my Google goggles.
Oh, go.
Damn it.
Damn it. Yeah, so he's one to look out for probably next year, obviously, from a smaller school. Another one too, so Rain Smith, he was the Tasmanian. He just signed with Louisville. So he was with Charleston, and they made the tournament. He's a three-point shooter, undersized dude. But he's gone back to college rather than going pro, and he signed with Louisville, which is a good school because his coach went there. Another one, Kelly Oubre Jr. Now, I don't know if you saw this, G. The referee, he was spraying the referee, calling him a bitch. He'll get a fine. He's calling them all a bitch. But you see the play that he actually...
Called 3 of them.
Yeah. But you see the play that there was no foul called.
And it was clearly a foul.
Well, they came... Well, you could argue, like, hey, there was no call on the floor.
Still no excuse
Still no excuse.
for
Then
that language.
After the game, the referees came out and said, oh, actually did miss the call. It was a clear foul.
Probably doesn't change anything.
It would have won the game.
No, I get that, but it doesn't change that, like, Oubre called him a bitch and got ejected. You still can't do that.
Well, is there a bitch clause if they actually admit they were wrong? It's like, actually, we are bitches. Yeah.
Actually, on
Ready to go.
Lessen the fine.
And we are indeed. Yeah, maybe.
Jeez, you really sit on the fence with this one.
Yeah, I don't decide on things.
All right, this new segment we brought in last week's new hot take segment brought to you by Chicken Treat, where we're talking everything basketball and their Frank's Red Hot thick sauce range.
Some of the best stuff going around.
Hot. Like these takes.
They're so hot. Timer on the clock, a minute on each. Okay, the first one. Josh Giddey is the key to OKC's playoff success. They're 7-1 when he scores 20 plus. Giorgio.
Yeah, I'd say that's a warm take. It's not that hot because I think Giddey is extremely key to OKC's success, especially he's come good very recently. He had a pretty slow start to the season, and he is dominating now. He says he's been playing with more freedom, thinking less about when he's got the ball and just playing more instinctively.
The Houston game was interesting too because he's still doing his like hard-nosed layups to the bucket now, and he's like getting the floaters going, hitting some threes as well. I think he's like 39% from deep from this month.
Harry, you'll love this. He hit a shot from sitting on the floor.
Oh my God! Have a lie down and playing. I know.
Hang on a sec. How many millions of dollars are these guys on?
Well, he's on a lot of money. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Double
but
it.
He can demand more.
31 points, 23 points, 16 points in his 3 most recent games. Playing very, very well. Okay, next one. Will Magnay should start at... Oh, Harry, why didn't you read this one?
Okay.
Will Magnay should... Magnay is...
All right, next hot take. Will Magnay should start at centre for the Boomers in Paris.
Whoa,
why is that, Harry?
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
I know.
whoa,
Talk me through it.
I know. Well, he's long been
You've got to
the
admit it.
backbone of that Boomers team.
No. Well, he might play. He's with the Jack Jumpers. He might make the team, but we've already got Jock Landau and Dwop Reith. I think he should be on the plane. Like, he's a pure centre who's bloody amazing in the NBL.
Team morale.
You would start Dwop Reith, you'd think.
Yeah,
right?
sure. But I think there could be a role for him. And injuries, he might get a spot.
It's just that you said, Harry, should start.
He should definitely start.
No.
Maybe he should start. You don't think so?
No.
Okay. Well, maybe he should start.
might
at
make the 12.
Start a point guard then.
Shut the fuck up.
Lastly, my hot take is I think there's a very good chance Ben Simmons doesn't play NBA again.
But he loves money too much.
He loves money, but teams also love players that play basketball.
I guess, but there's too likely that some GM is going to be like, I have some money, I'm just going to chuck him on the end of the roster and hopefully he comes good. I know Dante Exum came good and he's playing good minutes for Dallas.
Yeah, he did. He actually played really well while Kyrie Irving was out, and then he got injured again. I don't know who's taking a chance on Ben Simmons at what he costs, knowing that he's gone through 4 times major injury, overcoming. I'm sad for the guy. Sorry for my language.
I'm not that sad for him.
Gee,
120
I've got
million.
a hot take on your hot take. Feel how hot my finger is, guys. This is how hot it is.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
I
That's
know.
hotter than Frank's red hot thick sauce.
That's not the agreed format we agreed to.
Yes, well, guess what? I'm going all out for this one. Simmons will be back. It's all part of his documentary part 2. Didn't he release it?
Oh, okay. It's all part of the narrative. I like it.
I think he'll be back. Yeah, he'll come good.
I
He
hope,
just needs
I
to
hope so.
relax.
Genuinely hope so.
Time. That was Chicken Treats' new hot take segment brought to you by Frank's Red Hot Thick Sauce range. That was hot.
Yeah,
Harry,
I
you
know.
had so much more to say, but we
Sizzle.
ran out of time.
I know. Hey, next time, though.
You know what's hot? Talking to Gary Payton.
Yeah, that is hot. Oh,
He
God,
was
so hot.
he was part of the Seattle SuperSonics back in the day.
His son
and him and
obviously
Sean
plays
Kemp.
now.
Yeah, his son plays now as well. Him and Sean Kemp were these Michael Jordan was obviously a beloved basketball player, but if you're around that time as well, a lot of people had SuperSonics jerseys and a lot of people had Gary Payton jerseys as well.
Hey, Harry, quick quiz question for you. Take a wild guess at what Gary Payton's son is called.
Leighton Payton.
No.
That's good.
Yeah, it would have been good.
It's Gary Payton Jr.
Was it?
Roll the tape. Thanks for listening. Thanks so much for joining us. NBA Hall of Famer, 9-time NBA All-Star, NBA champion. We're so lucky to have Gary Payton here today. Gary, how you going?
Good, I'm good. Josh, how are you?
Yeah, good. Thank you, mate. I've got a couple to get through right now. I think we'll start with your time in Sydney. You're in Sydney right now. My memory of your last time in Sydney was the Olympics, but in particular the semi-final against Lithuania, where it was the craziest end to the game. You're on the court towards the end there. What are your memories of that game against Lithuania where the US came pretty close to a crazy upset?
Well, you know what? We were playing very, very bad, and all of a sudden, Coach Rudy T, he makes a brilliant sub and gets Antonio McDyess in the game, and he changes the game for us by his energy. And we were on the floor, and then all of a sudden, I missed a layup, and they were going to go down and make a big play to try to put us away. And next thing you know, we get a steal, and Vince Carter comes up with the steal and gets the big dunk at the end there almost and changed the whole game around. And we were just one of them teams where we knew that the international play was getting better because they were competing against us, and a lot of these players were in the NBA, and they scared us a little bit. And we were used to winning by at least, 20 or 30 points, but they were playing very well and we weren't playing well, and it happened, and good thing we didn't get upset.
Charles Barkley was pretty open when in obviously the Dream Team. They had a fantastic time in Barcelona. He partied a fair bit in Spain. When you guys were in Sydney, it's a fun city. Were people out and about enjoying themselves as well? Because I know when you're winning by 30 points, 40 points, you might want to step out to Circular Quay for a day and have a beer or two. I don't know. What was it like being in that team, and then also after you won?
Well, you know what? Because of 1996 when we was in Atlanta, and we were Dream Team 2 with Charles, we were partying a lot because we were winning by 30 and 40 points. But the security, when the bomb went off in there, I think that the United States got a little bit more cautious about it. They built us a hotel outside of Sydney, like an hour and a half outside of Sydney. So we didn't come to the city as much. We had too much security, and we went on like group trips, and then that was it. So it wasn't really like that, and everybody had their families, and we didn't get to see too much of Australia. Our partying was basically in our hotel, in our rooms. Everybody would leave their room doors open, and we'd come in from there to there and there, have cocktails with each other, barbecue, and do things like that. So it wasn't really like that, and we didn't get to really see Sydney the way we really wanted to.
Well, hopefully you have this time at least. You know, obviously renowned trash talker, amazing defender. How do you trash talk on the international game? Like, if a guy's from Lithuania and his English isn't very good, do you find a way to go beyond the language barrier?
Well, we basically got to beat them up then. You just got to hit them a little bit and talk a little bit and be rough with them. They like to be rough anyway. They know when you start talking trash and getting rough. Some of them guys know what you saying in English, so they know. So they'll go back and then they'll speak their language. We don't know what's going on. But what I did was I just hit them a little bit. Hit them and let them understand that what I was talking about, and then they start understanding after a while when I kept banging on them.
You can get away with far less nowadays in the NBA, but who do you look at now in the NBA as like one of the defenders you really enjoy watching, whether it's a big man or a perimeter guy? Is there a guy that you look at and say, well, he would have excelled when you could hand check, when you could do all these things in our game as well as right now?
Drew Holiday, big time Drew Holiday. You know, Smart at one point was like that. Beverly was once like that, but right now, who kept that competitiveness up there is Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday is one of the guards that he plays hard on both ends of the floor.
The Golden State Warriors went down this morning. Do you speak to your son throughout the whole season, giving advice, checking in, finding out what's going on? Do you know anything of how the vibe is with the Warriors right now?
Well, you know, they just lost to the Indiana Pacers, which you've seen. It is what it is, man. They're up and down right now. I think they're like in a 9th spot or 10th spot or whatever. They're in a play-in right now. I think that they just have to be consistent. Everybody's got to stay on the floor. Everybody's got to learn a role. I think they put Clay coming off the bench in a role. He had to adjust to that. I just think that they have to be in a rhythm or a groove. They're so much of an up and down team, and they're losing so much at home, which I'd never seen before. So now they're about to get on the road, and we got to see what happens. You know, they got to win basketball games now to stay in that position. I would want to move up to like the 8th or the 7th spot so that I have to get beat twice. You know, instead of beating people, have to beat them 2 times. You would have to beat me 2 times at home. So I think that they need to get in that mode because you only got almost like 20 games left, and it's getting down to the nitty-gritty.
You've been on record talking about your dad, Mr. Mean. When your son's already in the NBA and you're a Hall of Famer, what are the conversations like at Christmas, at holidays, when you probably should listen to your dad because he has a bit of advice? How do those conversations develop now, especially with the comparison with, I guess, how you had your relationship with your own father?
Different eras. We bring up kids different ways, you know. I was brought up real tough. My kids had a silver spoon in their mouth, you know what I'm saying? So it's a little different, you know what I'm saying? So I was tough on him at one point and it didn't work. And you gotta understand, certain kids can take it and certain can't. You know, he couldn't do it at that point. So now what I do is I just listen to him. You know what I'm saying? I go to games, he come over to me. I just talk about, look, you got to do this right. It is what it is. You got to do it. I don't really get on him anymore. I just let him come to me and talk to me because it doesn't work sometimes with different kids. I got my youngest one, it would probably work. But with Gary, I don't think it works. I think you got to let him just be him.
Josh Giddey is a part of the OKC right now. He's probably our biggest name in the NBA from the Australian basketball standpoint. What have you made of him? And do you believe that he's the point guard for a championship Thunder?
Well, I think they're going to have to go through Gilchrist. They got to go through the young boy. He's playing very well, and I think he's got to handle the basketball. You don't really have a true point guard nowadays in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? To me, it's only one true point guard, and that's Chris Paul. So, that's just the way it is, who is a true point guard. Every other player has been converted from either a 2 to a 1 or a 3 to a 1. And Giddey is the same. He's a big guard that can handle the basketball, but he sees the floor very, very well. And he scores too. A lot of these players, they score a lot of points as a point guard. I think averaging at a point guard should be averaging about 16. You know what I'm saying? And getting about 10 assists and doing a lot of steals to get everybody involved. But, it's a different game. It's a different era. But I think at his size, he can do it because he can play the game very well. You know what I'm saying? And he's got a lot of skills. And with their size and being that young, I think he has to play well, too, for them to be in any kind of consideration as a championship.
So you think they'll stick with Giddey at the OC rather than seeking another guy to come in potentially? Do you think he's in their 5 for that into the future? Yeah, I think so. I think they'll go and try to get a backup point guard to rest him, just in case, some injuries come up and stuff, to get a good veteran point guard to back him up. But he's their future. He has to be their future. 13 years ago, you accepted an award for the Webbies, part of a documentary called Sonics Gate, Requiem of a Team. And at the time, you said, bring back the Seattle SuperSonics. It feels like we're pretty close right now. What needs to happen, and why is this still so important to you despite playing other places? Well, first of all, I spent 13 years in Seattle. That's where I built this career. You wouldn't know the Hall of Famer Gary Payton anywhere else. You only know him in Seattle. Our team, our city does not deserve not to have a team for going on 17 years now. That's insane. We should have never lost it. And I think it's getting close. I think Adam Silver is doing a great job of doing what he's doing to get us back, to get the owners to understand that we need this. Seattle has done what they're supposed to do. They built an arena for the NHL team, and it's going to be a great facility for the NBA to come to. I think we're very close there. I think us in Vegas should have a great shot of get the expansion. And that's all I want. That's all I need to hear for our team to come back, and we'll have basketball there, and then we'll be one city again. Last one before, I know you've got a very big schedule today. Del Curry, Michael Thompson, and yourself, you're all former NBA players with sons in the same team. Do you guys ever talk about who could run it back right now and win if you guys are playing one-on-one? Nah, we never talk about it. We too old for that right now, man. We too old, man. We are old, you know what I'm saying? Especially Thompson. He older than me, and I think Dale is too, so we don't think about it. We look at these guys who try to act like they, that 40-year-old league and 50-year-old league, and all of a sudden they blow out their ACL or their Achilles. I want to walk straight to the rest of my life. I don't want I have never got cut on in my life. So I take it that basketball is over for me. I'll just keep in shape, riding the bikes and doing like that. And I think we would have fun just sitting around playing horse and don't move. We old grandpas now, you know what I'm saying? We all got grandkids now. So we just trying to relax. Thanks, heaps, Gary. Just quickly, what's one weird thing you've noticed in Australia? Like, there's obviously some differences between the USA and Australia, not necessarily basketball related, but is there anything you've been like, oh, that's a bit weird that they do here? Like, I wasn't expecting this thing, or even maybe a slang? No, not really. I mean, everything is kind of Americanized here. I like the beaches, which is real different. You know what I'm saying? And they're beautiful. A lot of things happen here, and it's nothing different. I think the food would just be a little different. That's about it. Okay. Anything else is almost the same. The talking and the language is a little bit with an accent, but that doesn't matter. We got that all around the world. So that's probably only the big deal that's different. Well, welcome back to Australia. It's been great having you, Gary, and thanks so much for the rest of your trip. Thanks, Josh. Appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me on.